What's going on, guys? This is your host, Chase Mcallister, and this is the Cut to the Chase podcast. I have Johnny Nitafan, the man, the myth, the legend. Everybody's talking about him right now. I thought, let's get this guy on. Let's chat. I want to know the real Johnny. I want to know everything behind the scenes. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty here. Johnny, if you had a 50% chance to win $10 million or a 75% chance to win $1 million, what would you take?
50% chance to win.
Let's
Is it
go.
5 million?
10 million.
10, yeah, 100%. I'm
taking
that. I'm going all or nothing, dude. Seriously. Like, why take the chance? Like, just risk it, bro. Like that's kind of how I view business. I'd rather fall on my face and fail and learn a lesson. And
Exactly.
literally, we'll cut right to the chase. Right here, this is my clothing line that I started when I was 18 years old. Now I'm 21. This is my company now, Nitafan Financial. And it's like, dude, this is the old brand. This is the new brand. This is the name brand. So it's Johnny Nitafan. So I just say that because I always wear my shirts. They're super comfortable. I'm not doing that anymore. But what I decided to do, bro, is when I left so I moved out here to Arizona. I grew up in New Mexico, moved out here to Arizona, and I moved out here because of basketball. And I was like super fired up, excited, raised money so I could go to a prep school. If people don't know, it's a prep school is between high school and college. You go to a prep to go to the NBA, you could go straight to the NBA if you want, or you could go straight to D1s. But there's like 200 college coaches that would go to each prep school, practice, game, all that stuff. But it doesn't count towards your eligibility. So I raised $8,000 to do it. Moved out here to Arizona. I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, I want to start a company. I just want to be an entrepreneur. That's what I want to do, right? And so, boom, just put that $8,000 into learning business. Didn't know a thing about it. I learned a lot of lessons, and I'm like, if I fail at this business, I will learn $8,000 worth of lessons that will help me make the millions later. I just don't know what it is. So let's do it. I've always had that mentality. So it taught me a lot right from the gate. Like, all right, cool. How to create an LLC, how to do this, how that, whatever. But this is a physical product. I do insurance now. So it's not a physical product. So it's a lot easier. The ROIs are like, you can actually see them now. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about me and kind of the backstory behind me.
Yeah. And next question was going to be, tell us a bit about yourself, but you kind of nailed it, pal. So I'll just get into the next one. For the people that, don't know who you are, let's give them a little insight of where you've come. I mean, you started in the industry, I want to say a couple months ago. Like how long ago first did you start in the industry?
Yeah, I got into the life insurance industry about 5 months ago. And so we've really been I saw an opportunity 5 weeks into the business to get onto this reality TV show. If you guys haven't seen it, it's Ultimate Agent Contest. Look it up on YouTube. And it, like, we got flown out on a private jet to an undisclosed location. The prize was $121,000 cash and prizes. There's so much that we could have won, as well as all these different exclusive groups and all that to be a part of. Now, so I saw that opportunity, really went hard to be able to get to it, and I was like, this could literally change my life. Well, it really has, now that I think about it, because the connections that I've made have really propelled me to a new level. And I'm like, how do I really keep this momentum going? There's so much momentum. Right when the show dropped, hundreds of messages, calls, texts, emails, all this stuff. And I'm like, people on TikTok randomly saying, oh, I saw you on Ultimate Agent in my comments. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, it's just crazy, all this stuff. And so I was like, how do I keep this momentum going? I was like, I have to hire a social media person to just post content, because that's the best way. So I've really tried to keep the momentum going and keep just the omnipresence. Grant Cardone's like, I don't care if people like me or don't. I just care that they know me. If they're unfollowing me, so right when I started posting a bunch, people unfollowed me right away. And I was like, dude, they know me enough to unfollow me. And that's all I really care about, because if 100 million people hate me and 1 million people love me, dude, like, that's a great place to be in.
Even 100,000. Even 100,000.
Exactly.
That was going to be kind of where I would segue next is, look, you've only been in the industry for 5 months. I mean, any other person that truthfully may not have had that opportunity would be dying to get in the position you are in with the omnipresence that you're creating outside of just your content that you're producing yourself. And now you're capitalizing on that. So what does that look like? And for the people that maybe are shy, the agents that are shy to put their face online and really go after that, what are the things that you might have gained from being in that position and now capitalizing on it? Because, you know, I'll give you a pat on the back. That's one thing that I've really noticed since the Ultimate Agent is like, you didn't disappear. Even the winner, I can't see her anywhere. But guess who I see everywhere is Johnny.
Yeah.
And that is something that, like, I have to give you kudos for capitalizing on the things that you were given. And not given, but like opportunities that came in your way, right? What are some of the things that have transpired since you capitalized on those things? And then maybe also you could speak to you know, getting your face online and what that can equate to, especially in the financial industry.
Yeah, totally. So here's the thing. When I came to this realization, everything changed. I realized that I don't have to be the best. I really don't. Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if I don't have to be the guy that's doing 100,000 a month or whatever, because that person most likely is not known. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, like I have a podcast from unknown to unforgettable. And I started that because I realized, like, all right, I really don't have to be the best. I just have to be known. And if I'm able to put out the content, if I'm able to be out there, people will come to me as the expert, and I'm not even the best. Right. And so because just people know me, and I was like, what would my 18-year-old self, what would I look at? What would I want? 18, I would want somebody to document the journey. And Alex Hormozy's a great job of that, but he didn't document the journey. Like he's telling about all his lessons, but I want to get to that spot where you look back, you go on my YouTube, you go on my TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, and you're like, dang, that dude, I posted when I was in a 500 square foot apartment. I posted when I put my first podcast out because I said, I'm going to post this. I'm literally going to talk about this on a stage one day. And now we're in a 1,000 square foot apartment, but people are following me on the journey slowly and surely. All of a sudden, and those people are going to be so loyal that they're going to be telling their friends, I remember that moment because I just posted. I'm not the best, and I'm learning constantly. Like the thumbnails were trash before, like whatever it is, we're not good. And then my wife took over, started doing it, started branding a little bit, did well. And then all of a sudden now I have a social media guy dedicated it, and the thumbnails are like, dang, those are really good. But you really don't have to be the best. Like if you're able to like people. And here's the thing is what I realized when I saw Cody, he's not busy all the time. He's not doing stuff like crazy, but because he has two full-time social media people, it creates this reality that people actually think that that's the real thing. And not to take anything away from, like, dude, he's crushing it. He's absolutely insane because you're able to create that omnipresence that, dang, this dude does not turn off. When literally I deleted my Instagram app, I deleted everything. I'm not even posting. And all of a sudden, like, people are like, still, like, it's still going. People are still seeing me constantly. Boom, boom, boom. And I don't know. So that's my mindset. Like, I don't have to be the best. But if people know who I am and know what I do and know the niche that I'm in, they're going to come to me right away. So
and I think people get intimidated too by a point you just brought up is that I'm not the best, so I don't have anything to talk about. And I don't think, like, for me, I get imposter syndrome all the time. You think you're like, well, maybe I'm saying something somebody else did, or like, you know, you're repeating maybe a book that you did and I read or something like that, where you subconsciously you didn't even know you were doing it. Those things you just kind of have to have imperfect action in. Really, it's all about consistency and just showing up. And just having something like to talk about what you know, especially in insurance agents. You guys have a plethora of like knowledge in the financial space where people don't actually, the average person does not know. So if all you did was just post about the different products, the benefits, just a benefit each post, and continue to do that, you'll have booked appointments. I have a client right now. Shout out to Will Rodriguez. He was a guest here recently. He's been posting reels about financial knowledge for 5 months now. He gets 20 to 30 appointments just from his Instagram DMs each week. He's closing big annuity sales from reels, which is insane. It's insane. You didn't have to pay for that lead. What are the things that, I mean, you learned in the Ultimate agent
Yeah.
show. I know you've been asked this a lot, but I know
Yeah.
going into that, you were only like what, a couple weeks into the insurance space itself. So
Yeah.
amazing mentors to walk into the space. But what's a couple of those things that you've learned being a new agent, being there, having no mental block or an opinion on something? You're kind of wide open and just taking it all
Yeah.
in. What are some of the things that you learned that'll stick with you for the rest of your life in that reality TV show?
Yeah. I mean, I just think like honestly, some of the biggest things I learned is one, urgency, just massive urgency. Like so much massive urgency. Like, what's my calendar look like? Let's prepare for the day. Because if you didn't have time management on that show, I messed up because the second day it was like the second day I was with Brian all day,
Yep.
and I just didn't have time management. I didn't look at the thing and be like, we literally were driving probably for like 2 hours in the car, and it's like because I had it all scattered out, and that's what I realized. Like I can do so much in the telesales virtual space if I have these things constantly booked up in my calendar and things constantly going. And so time management, big thing, massive urgency, you can accomplish so much. Like now I've really just compressed time and like pushed everything into one day as much as I can. And then, okay, the next day we're doing everything like today or tomorrow, whatever it is. Right. And so I think like the massive urgency has trickled into so many things in my life. Why not start the diet later? Why not just start it today? Because like what's the difference? So like I've really put it into all aspects of life, but in terms of business, like just massive urgency in everything I do and like just being present. Because and also the second thing I shared this on the show is that trust the process in what I'm doing, trust the system, right? And I think a lot of people are like, I here's the thing, I've struggled with that it recently too, like not trusting the process. I want like, oh, okay, I need this, I need this. But if you're able to really trust the process, then compounding interest can actually happen. And then all of a sudden, things that you never thought would just blow up. And I think that's where I'm really trying to focus my time on is like, I'm going to trust the process and like, I'm going to be the most consistent guy. Everybody knew Gary Vee because he was so consistent. He was so like, he's been so consistent every single day. But now it's like, okay, maybe not my TikToks, Instagram aren't getting a ton of traction, but I'm going to be the consistent guy. I'm going to be that guy that's consistent.
And consistency with, especially with content, is key. Now I'm in the point where we're really taking off, and we're putting assets in place to do so. But in the beginning, it's all about just consistently posting each day, and you're doing an amazing job with that, Johnny. Amazing job with that. I love your
Thank you.
content, dude. Now
Thank
going
you.
back to that, what would you say, being a new agent, what would you say is more important? Lead or a good process? Because do the leads really matter? I mean, from what I've seen in the program, you guys had a good setup of leads, but do you think the leads really took you guys to that point where you were making the business, or do you think it was the action that you were taking,
Yeah, it
or a
was
bit of both?
massive action. Like it was my mindset on that show, and what I learned also is that it's a numbers game, but you have to get an answer you have to get an answer, yes or no. Like maybe
Yeah.
doesn't count. And my thing is like, dude, I just need an answer. I could care less. I have 650 leads, a stack this big of leads, like of forms people filled out. So if they're not interested, all right, cool. I know now. I'm putting you to the side and I'm moving on to the next one. Like
Yeah.
that's just all it is. Like I think having a system in place is really important, but you could spend dude, I just worry about cost per acquisition to be honest. Like I
Yeah.
don't care
Of
about the
course.
lead, like because you could have trash leads and still pay like and they're cheap, they're 99 cents or a dollar, but they're trash leads. And so I think
Mhm.
like it depends what you do at the time. A lot of people want the best leads and then
And just
they
take
just do
orders.
nothing with
Yeah.
their time. They do
Yeah.
nothing with their time. Like they're like, okay, they do the thing, but then it's like they're not using arbitrage of that time. Okay, my time is worth more. I'm going to pay for better leads. And so now I can actually do more stuff that'll help me in the long term. Because for me, insurance is a vehicle because it's so niche down. I knew I could gain a following in the insurance space. It'll help my bank account. It'll help a ton of stuff, help me grow my business. But at the end of the day, I want to be doing like speaking all across the world. I want to be coaching, consulting, things like that. So I was like, dude, if I could, this is the vehicle and you can make a lot of money in it. If I'm able to build a team while I do it, boom, then I'm able to create that residual income. Then now in 3 to 5 years, all of a sudden I'm able to travel the world and do things and have pretty much do it risk free, because I know at the end of the day, I'll have 100K coming in each month or whatever it is coming in, boom, boom, boom. And I could really focus my time and energy on higher leverage, like activities, higher things that could really make me like a lot of money and do what I really love. So
very cool. Very cool. So for the people, I don't know if we're allowed to tell, but did you win the contest or did you not win the contest?
No, I didn't win. I didn't win. Yeah,
I will say this though. And before you get into that, me and my wife watched every single episode from like 8 p.m. to like 1 a.m. It was a binge watch, but I was like, I have to watch them all. I don't have time to do it tomorrow, so we're staying up to 1. We're watching them all because I was like, I need to know if my boy Johnny wins because I have no idea. We were so devastated. We were like pissed. By the time it ended, we were like, Johnny deserved to win that. The drive, the motivation that you had going into that. And I think, let me just give you an extreme piece of advice. I talk to hundreds of agents each day where I think you're going to come out on top significantly. And what other people listening should take advice from this is that you have no limiting belief and you also aren't, stuck in a way. You're willing to adapt and take advice from everything right now and be a melting pot, which is crucial for a new agent coming up. Because if you just have one downline for your mentor or one upline for your mentorship, you're just going to get stuck with their ways. You need to be a melting pot. You did a really good job of that. And out of all the people that I seen in there, you were more driven to get it done than a lot of people. Shout out to everybody else, but I love my guy, Johnny. Now, Johnny.
Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that. Seriously.
Johnny, what is the next 5 years look like for Johnny? And if you have any goals in mind, you said you want to do coaching and consulting, but really, what's the game plan, my man?
Yeah, I mean, the game plan is pretty straightforward. Build a massive agency, really capitalize on what I have now. And I mean, my goal, honestly, is to really like blow this insurance thing out of the water. And so really, because it's an avenue, right? It's just the avenue to be able to get to where I really want to go. And so when I look at it, I'm like, all right, cool. The next 3 years, like I want to be able to get to the top of the company where I'm at and pretty much have that big downline, but like just quality people and pretty much create a name from the insurance industry and like start with insurance. But it's like, I just have a really big heart for young entrepreneurs because I was one. And I know there's so many people out there that really want to do big things. They just don't have that drive, that motivation, that determination, or they don't even have the step-by-step process. And I want to be able to be that mentor and help for them. And so I would say 3 years, head down, focus on insurance, but growing the coaching and stuff as I go, because some people are happy with where they're at, happy with the company, but they still want to work with me somehow. And it's like, all right, cool. My time is valuable and I really want to like have that. And because that's what I want to do, but it's like, do that along the way, because I love coaching and helping people. And so next 3 years, really blow this thing out of the water when I'm 24, be top of the company. And then pretty much from there, like start my speaking stuff, but pick up speaking stuff along the way, but really build that social media presence that I could host my own conference for young entrepreneurs, 18 to 30, like young people that are just really wanting to like, ready to crush it when they're young, because you could literally, what's cool is that you can create a life that your 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old self. I'm not about building a legacy. I'm about living a legacy. I don't care about building it. I want to live it with my kids. Like that's my drive, is because when my wife and I just got married, we just celebrated our anniversary 1 year, but our goal is to have kids and for me to be able to be at those kids' events and not have to be working. I want to be present in their lives. I want to grow them to be the people who like my dad was amazing, but like teach them to be amazing in business, amazing person, amazing Christian, amazing like this, that, whatever, and have a great life. And so I just really want to be present in their lives and really make a difference, because I know that kids, they can help change the world if you teach them right. So I want to teach them like, what if, because here's the thing, this is what I think about. What if we were taught, what if we grew up with no limiting beliefs? Like somebody saying like, no, like people like, imagine us like coming out with the imagination that a kid has of like, all right, you like, I want to be this. Oh, you can do it. Like, let's do it. Let's do something crazy. Oh, like, and teach kids how to manage money, how to grow money, how to do this, that. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, like Maddox with John Wetmore at 8%. He's like, oh, how much? $4,000? Oh, that's like 4 hours of work. And that's what he's already teaching his son. And so that's what I want to teach my kids, like how to we don't want to be stuck in this like the 9 to 5. Like there's so much more to experience in life. And so really teaching them that.
Johnny, I don't know if you know this, but I don't even have my grade 12 diploma.
Really?
Just no, and I was speaking of this in another podcast, but I luckily had parents who were both entrepreneurs and like, never gave me limiting beliefs, and I always kind of, they pushed me to be, outside of the box, and had the opportunity to go to college, but I actually needed 20 hours community service to get my grade 12, and I said, I don't want it. I don't want the certificate. Give me the college tuition that my parents saved up for, and I bought a food truck, actually. I went around the series with food truck.
That's insane.
But, like, just the same values, though. The same values of, like, you don't need to be put in a box. You don't need to find a career and stick to that and live a job for the rest of your life that you might make a retirement at the end, hopefully, right? Live a life that you can show your kids that it's not all about just getting a job. It's about leveraging your knowledge to somebody that needs that knowledge. And then, getting expertise in one little niche, finding something that you're passionate about and running with it. Johnny.
Yep.
You started like literally 5 months ago for insurance. Where were you before insurance? Before you got into that, were you struggling trying to find a place? This question is more or less for the people that are on the fence about jumping into insurance and maybe are in like honestly a shitty spot in their life too. If there's anything you could maybe give insight to, that'd be great.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I was at Starbucks, man. I was like, I talk about this story so much because I always wanted to grow something with one person and like just absolutely like, if they're able to buy into me and like love me for a person with nothing pretty much, like I know that I want them to be rewarded for that tremendously. And when I proposed, I was working like part-time ish at Starbucks, 30 to 40 hours a week at Starbucks. And so sometimes like 25 hours. And so I was at Starbucks before I got into the insurance industry. I was really on the fence. I didn't know what to do. I had like somebody showed me the opportunity and I was like, that's crazy. You could make 100K, but he made it in his second year. And so I was like, even the second year, that'd be awesome. Like I'll be like financially free. And it's funny because as you start making money, you realize that 100K isn't everything that you thought.
That goes quick. That goes quick.
And so like I haven't made 100K yet, but like I know that I understand more of the principles of that. Like it's really not. That doesn't create the life that you want. Like even 1 million, I've heard people be like, all right, that it's still kind of like you're still getting there. But I think like just take the jump. What's gonna happen? Like my mindset was if I fail, like even right now, like what I'm doing, I'm going at it so hard because if I fail and if I'm driving so fast that like I could crash and it could explode, but like then I learned a lesson of what not to do. And then if you get into the insurance business, what if it actually works? So everybody says, what if I don't make sales? What if I don't make money? But nobody asks the question, what if it does? What if you are the guy on the stage? What if you are the guy that has a big team? What if you are the guy that's getting 6 figures in deposits each month because you've built a team, because you went on a limb? And so having that mindset, like, dude, if it fails, you learned a lesson and you know how to sell. Like if you don't know how to sell, selling, you can literally, one, control your income, but two, you're like, you're unemployable because you can always make money. Selling is an art, and if you're able to learn the art young, which I've like
Yeah.
really taken in, like if it's not
Yeah.
insurance, if it somehow insurance blows up and goes out the water, $1 trillion industry disappears overnight, which probably won't, but if it does, I know I could go out and sell cars. I know I could go out and sell books, sell whatever it is,
Exactly.
because it's a skill. It's a lifelong
Yep.
skill. So just take the step, honestly. Like, just stop waiting, stop procrastinating. If you're never going to do it one day, why not today? So,
Cool.
yeah.
Now, you said you were going to basketball. What was the prep school for? You wanted to get into
Yeah.
basketball? So you're an all-star basketball player on the side.
Not on the
You can shoot
side,
hoops.
but I did want to, like, my goal was to get a Division I scholarship, go to the NBA, stuff like that. That was my goal for basketball. That's why I was always sold out on like marrying young. My goal was to marry when I was younger, and like I didn't like just randomly pick somebody and all of a sudden boom, like I got married. Like it didn't happen like that. She was the one.
Yeah.
She is the one. Like, she's awesome, but I knew that, like, dude, if you get to the big leagues, if you start making the money, if you start getting the fame, people know who you are, like who's real and who's not, who's going to
Yeah.
stand by me, and you really understand, like, dang, this person loves me for who I am. And then it's just a bonus on top, like, dang, we're able to do this together. And so I wanted to play basketball. I wanted to go do big things. I was talking to a few agents in the Philippines because I'm Filipino. And so they pay well, and they only take a certain amount of Americans. I could be technically a Filipino over there. And so then it helps out them. So I was talking to a few of them, really was considering it, going pro out of high school.
That's really cool.
But I was like, I should stay here. And so that's kind of my journey. But yeah, basketball is my love. Like that, I loved it. And I haven't played basketball in so long now, but it's fun to know that was the pastime.
So you were doing a lot of final expense sales in the show. Have you shifted to mortgage protection? You're trying to research advanced markets. Where are you going right now? Where's that?
Yeah. I mean, it was so out of my element. Like I never really wanted to do final expense, never did it. And I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. And on the show, I ended up going mortgage protection route. I don't think they showed that, but what you could do is you could buy your own leads. And so after the first day, I was like, dude, I'm just going to do it. Cause like there was whispers around of different people possibly doing it. And nobody, I don't think, ever committed until like I did it, but I didn't tell anybody. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it. So I got my own mortgage protection leads, had a great day. And then all of a sudden my leads ran out. I couldn't get any for the next day, but Michael really hit his push and was able to get some. So it really helped. But yeah, mortgage protection, and then going into the advanced markets, and kind of what we were talking about, a little bit of like building a reels and stuff. I was just thinking about it now. Like, do I want a client facing one, or do I want an agent facing one? Like, I don't know. And so right now my Instagram and my socials are very agent faced, because I know that one person, it's a one-time sale, but an agent is a lifelong. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. It's like, maybe I create an Instagram that's for just clients, and that's an organic lead generation. And so there's a lot of ways to go. Exactly. So I'm just right now very agent facing, just people, like, because I want to be like Bradley really inspires me, just what he does. I really like what he does as well, just super down to earth. But because he started a solar company because of his audience, he started an insurance company because of his audience. He's starting he's in real estate, car, all that stuff, and he has all that stuff because of his audience. So I'm like, maybe I would start a solar company, or not start one, but like do that. And then people who want to do solar, boom. And then you can cross sell mortgage protection and solar. So I don't know. It's more like,
Very cool. Well, man, you have some big plans. I've been excited to see you kind of grow, or just like come out of the woodwork. It's been kind of really cool. And I'm excited to see the next 2-3 years and even 5 years. And hopefully you won't forget of us little people once you hit those stages. But anything you would want to leave the audience with, I won't take up too much of your time. Anything you want to leave with the audience with, any piece of advice, anything that you want to just set the record straight on.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, like, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, a lot of people wait, and that the most successful people in the world make decisions quickly and change them slowly. And so if you have a huge dream, if you have a vision, if you want to do something crazy, just take one step today, because in Think and Grow Rich, my favorite book, my literal favorite book, the holy grail of entrepreneurship, of self-development, everything, like, it literally talks about, if you don't take action, that thought, that dream, that imagination just goes away. And you keep it alive. You keep the dream alive by taking action. It doesn't have to be crazy, but just take something. Because if you don't, then emotion will really separate you from actually accomplishing that. So if you want to do something, literally just post a piece of content. Like, literally start posting on your story, start doing this, that, whatever. But like, if you don't do it now, like, when are you going to do it? When's that point that's actually going to push you to do it? And so when you're thinking about it, just do it right away. Like, it's funny because I text the people who like are working with me, social media people, one of my assistants, she, like, I text them right away, and sometimes it's late at night, and I'm like, don't worry about answering now, but like, I just have to get it off I have to just do it, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't have to worry about it and think about it. And so like, I woke up like randomly at 1:30 in the morning, and I'm texting my social media guy, hey, this, that, whatever. And then I was like, don't worry about responding, but just do it. Just take action. Boom, boom, boom. Just little action, because little actions add up over time.
Awesome. And it's funny because I have a team of like 6 guys right now that are really close to me. We have a lot more guys, but the 6 guys that are really close to me, they handle most of the pillars of the business. And that's exactly how I operate too. Like 1 a.m., you don't have to respond, but blah, 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 this is what I need you to do tomorrow. And it's just because these things come. We have gotten really good. They've made me, like, I put in a form now and it gets submitted to the right person, and now it doesn't go to their phone at 1 o'clock in the morning. They see it when they wake up, but you gotta put it out there. You gotta take action. And then going back to what you said about the social media, just do it. That muscle will grow. Do you think I knew how to even speak on camera 5 years ago? Fuck no. I didn't. And truthfully, probably still don't. Could probably do a lot better than what I do now. But just staying consistent with it, you build a muscle. Even you, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, before you got on TV, you probably were a little camera shy. You're probably not ready to just jump on reels. But now that you've done hundreds of reels, you can talk. You can jump on a podcast and just jam it out with me, man. I'm extremely proud of, like, just, you don't really know each other too well, but I'm proud of where you've come and what you're about to accomplish, and excited to see where you go, my man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Man, we appreciate it. So if anybody doesn't follow Johnny, where can they follow you? Is it Johnny
Yeah, it's on Instagram, JOHNNY.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah, Nitafan, Nitafan 1 on Instagram. We're on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn,
everywhere.
YouTube. It's funny. YouTube Shorts are performing the best out of everything right now.
Yeah,
like, they're just really doing really well. So if you one piece of advice, like the thing that Gary Vee, I actually learned from him, is that YouTube's becoming, like, they're pushing out shorts so much, so you have a land grab that you can take. So if you want to start somewhere, just start on YouTube and literally post that same video to Instagram, TikTok. You just post it to everything, that same video, and just, you have to make 3 videos. I literally film 30 minutes a week, 40 minutes a week, send it to him, and he knows, boom, boom, boom. And because I'm making content, so it's like, all right, cool. I sit in front of the camera, do it, send it to him, and that's it. And all you need is 30 minutes to be able to create that omnipresence. It's insane.
Yeah, and people don't realize, like, even the videos that I put, that's a 30-minute batch. I'll batch out 4 or 5 videos, 5 to 6 videos in a sitting, and then the editor will go. For people that don't have an editor, batch out every day instead of you doing a batch content because you don't have the editor to just go and produce a bunch of different cuts. Just take 5-10 minutes every single day and put your face on there. Talk about problems. Talk about client problems, especially on the client-facing aspect. Not too knowledge on the agent-facing aspect of it, but on the client-facing aspect, if you just took client problems, you got on a phone with Judith, and Judith had a major heart attack not too long ago, but you still got her covered for blah, 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 blah. Literally, after you've done that, bleep Judith's name out. Hey, I just got off the phone with my client. We got her XYZ, and she had ABC, and she still got approved for this amount of money. If you want to know more, feel free to message me on my DM. You're now posting that reel. That reel is going to get sent to a bunch of people that you don't have on your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok or your YouTube. And people are going to be like, maybe I should talk to this guy. You posted enough. Now you've built that trust factor that you need before you even get on the call with them. So they're like, yeah, Johnny, man, I've been listening to your stuff for months now. I'm like, maybe I should probably talk to him about my retirement. It's those things. If you just kept up with it every day, it's just 5-10 minutes every day. And then eventually you get so good at it that shit, all right, I'm going to batch it in 30 minutes. I'm going to hire somebody to do it because now I'm making money off of it. I can invest money into it. I would strongly suggest if you're not making money, call your damn leads.
well, here's the thing. This is where I started because I was like, I just want to post. And the craziest thing is that literally because you have that audience built up, it creates that thing of like, dang, when people stumble upon one, it becomes like they are able to see all these other videos. And so I didn't start with an editor. I posted for 4 months without an editor. I just hired one. And so all I was doing was literally before I hopped in the insurance space, I started creating TikToks. And so all I would do, I would batch myself. But what I would do is on a Sunday or Monday, I would just film, boom, 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 film 10 videos, put the hashtags on it, the comments, all that stuff, and just put in my drafts. And then each day when I needed to, click post. That's it. And then you just move on with your day, and it doesn't take away. So if that's just a free piece of advice, like just literally batch your content. And like when you start flowing, just put it out, make the videos, boom, save it, put write the comment or the caption. And then just draft it and then just post it each day one time and then save some and then you can refilter it. That's what I did too. So I don't do that anymore, but I've done that in the past when I'm like, I need to post something. So I just repost something. So
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Johnny, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm sure lots of people have got some value. I'm sure there's probably 40, 50-year-old insurance agents that have been in this space for 15 years. They're like, shit, I should probably listen to Johnny. But guess what? If they got on the camera, they probably have a wealth of knowledge. They're just too shy. And guess what? Johnny beat you to the punch. And that's the way of the game, guys. So if you can take anything, I think from this is just take some fucking action. Take some action.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, Johnny. We'll have you on very soon. I'm going to have you on every year to see where you've come up. We want to keep up. We're going to keep you accountable to these goals that you set on this podcast.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, man, appreciate it. We'll see you next.